Democratic Representative Roger Krishnamoorthi of Illinois joins me now. He's a member of the House Oversight and Intelligence Committees. Congressman, good to see you. You and I have a long history of talking. I don't even know what question to ask you after hearing this nonsense. You know, when we had the 9/11 Commission, people may have had questions or disagreements as to the underlying causes of the attack or the intelligence failures, but we didn't doubt what actually happened. We saw that. Some people did, but generally speaking, members of Congress didn't. What do you make of this?
Well, good morning, Ali. I find it disgusting and revolting. In that particular case of Representative Clyde, I believe that he called this a normal tourist visit. And I think Congressman Gosar, during a hearing a couple of days ago, called these people peaceful patriots. And they were neither peaceful nor patriots, Ali. I think the American people, the big majority of the American people, based on the data that I see, view this as an insurrection. This was not some left-wing conspiracy that led to this attack on the Capitol, and that Trump was at least partially or mostly to blame for the attack. And so when Gosar and Clyde and others say what they are saying, I think it really flies in the face of what most people believe. And I think that it further leads to the Republican Party getting more and more disconnected with what the American people believe and want.
And there's that part of things. There's an intransigent Republican Party, but you also had an exchange with the former acting defense secretary. I want to play that for our audience.
Mr. Miller, I have a picture of January 6th and what the nation saw on TV. I can assure you these pictures of mayhem and insurrection do not suggest anyone had their game together that day.
I'm a little concerned that somebody who was in office at the Defense Department seems to be echoing some of the messages of your Republican colleagues.
Yes, not only that, he echoed the messages of Donald Trump. Later in that testimony, I was able to get him to confirm that he had denigrated the Pentagon, that he had praised the Russians, and of course he was incompetent. For 1.5 hours, 90 minutes after the mayor of Washington called him and his lieutenants for urgent assistance from the D.C. National Guard, which he oversees, he did not actually provide those resources. Only 90 minutes after she called did he even authorize it, and then hours after that, he actually provided the forces. And so this individual is unfortunately in the mold of Donald Trump, neither willing to take accountability for his actions and unfortunately very incompetent.
Talk to me about this January 6th commission. It's going to have 10 bipartisan members. The commissioners need experience in law enforcement, civil liberties, intelligence, various things. They will have subpoena power. How will we ensure that this thing is not DOA, that it's not, it doesn't become some weirdly partisan conspiracy theory-based thing right out of the gate?
Well, I think the good news is that Benny Thompson, who's the chair of the House Homeland Security Committee, actually came to an agreement with John Katko, who's the ranking member and a Republican on this legislation. They introduced it together yesterday, and they crafted a compromise of sorts where it's going to be evenly split between Democrats and Republicans, and that subpoenas would only be issued if both sides agreed. Now, I think at this point, we're going to have to see how Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell react. So far, Mr. McCarthy has not signed off on this. But again, if he fails to do so, he does so at his peril, because, again, the vast majority of the American people want this type of commission to be composed and to study and prevent this attack on the Capitol. I have not seen any evidence that a majority of Americans, or even a significant number, want their Capitol to be attacked, because at the end of the day, what happened was an attempt to overturn the democratic processes. And regardless of whether you're Republican or Democrat, that is not something that I don't think the vast majority of Americans or Democrats or Republicans want.
Congressman, thank you for joining us. Democratic Representative Roger Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. We'll continue to cover this story. Don't go anywhere.